Hello, welcome to my notes. Today I am back with computer science basics. So we have seen up to basic structures of computers and features of computers. Today we will see certain terminologies that we use in a basic computers. When we talk about basic computers or when we talk about a computer, there are certain terminologies that we should be aware of. So we will see the first topic, booting. See, you can see booting. What is booting? Simply, if we are saying to just for understanding purpose, we can say when you power on the system, the functioning of a computer or the process that happens inside the computer, we call it as booting. We have three types of booting. As we say, three types of booting: warm booting, cold booting, and dual booting. So we will see one by one. So booting is a process that happens when we switch on our system. We power on the system. This is not the exact definition, just for your understanding purpose I am telling. Booting is the process that happens when you switch on your system. So we have warm booting, cold booting, and dual booting. We will see what is cold booting. What is meant by cold booting? You may think why I have chosen cold booting first, because this is the first process that happens. Cold booting is nothing but once when your system is in off stage and when you go for power on, booting happens. I told you booting will happen when you switch on the power, right? So what happens at that time? It will be checking on the required files or systems, the software, the hardware is connected with the systems, everything it will be checking, and it will load OS, that means your operating system to the computer's main memory. And this process we call cold booting. That is when you power on, the operating system or the OS is loaded into the computer's main memory and the computer is ready to perform any task. They are waiting for the instruction from the user. We call this process as cold booting. We have another terminology that is meant by warm booting. Warm booting is nothing but already the system is in on stage. Either you have installed some kind of software or you might have connected a hardware to the system. At that time, what happens? The system is supposed to be rebooted so that it will get ready with the new software or with the new hardware. So that process we call it as warm booting. Why we call this as warm booting? Because already the system is on. For our particular purpose, we are rebooting the system. So rebooting the system is known as warm booting, and giving power to the system and switching on the system we call it as cold booting. Cold booting is a slower process, whereas warm booting is a faster process. So here we will see again, warm booting is a faster process because the system is already on, OS is already loaded. If we are adding a new software or connecting a new hardware, rebooting is required, and that is known as warm booting. It is faster because already OS is loaded into the memory. Cold booting is slower because it needs OS to be loaded into your main memory. Then comes with dual booting. Dual booting is nothing but there are certain systems that has two operating system in it. That is, two operating system is there in the system. So at the time of booting, it will be asked which operating system you need to be operated. That we call it as dual booting. So what is dual booting? Dual booting is having two OS installed and choosing between them at boot time is known as dual booting. Clear? This is the exact process of booting. The system will check all the hardwares, all the softwares that are installed or connected with the system. It also checks all the files that are required for running a system, and it will load them into the memory. This is the steps that happens. That is, first power on, second one they load the OS into the computer's main memory, and the third one is keep all the application in a state of readiness.